Wow, this has got to be the thickest, richest looking chocolate that I've ever seen.
One of the reasons we love traveling is food. We love experiencing new cultures through local, authentic food. And for the past few months, we've been traveling our way through Eastern Europe, where it was easy to dine out just as much as we wanted. The prices were just so cheap.
But now that we're back in Western Europe, in Valencia, Spain, the prices for dining out are a little more expensive, so we want to make sure that every meal out is as memorable as possible. That means getting the tastiest churros for breakfast, having a brunch that's available exclusively here in Valencia, and finding the best menu del dia for lunch.
And we're taking you along for the whole adventure today. So tackling these 3 meals all in one day is a whole lot of eating, so we'll see how we do.
But before we get into it, a big hello to all you nomads and adventurers from Valencia, Spain. This is the latest destination in our journey, and we're here for a whole month, so it's more than enough time to discover all the best food. Now, if it's your first time here, I'm Gillian and this is Stephanie.
So we travel the world full time, and we want to bring a little more adventure into your life. So our first big challenge with this day of eating was how to think like a local for breakfast. Our usual day starts with yoga at 6 a.m. and then we have a really healthy breakfast right away of green tea and eggs and some oatmeal. So here in Spain, nothing starts so early. Locals tend to go to bed late and then they get up much later. And they like to start the day with something really small, maybe a café con leche and a bite of pastry.
Well, that might be what the locals eat, but I'm going to try something just a little more decadent. It's churros con chocolate, a classic combination, especially in the winter. Now, you saw Stephanie try her very first churro on our first day in Valencia.
This looks amazing. So I got the full deal. I got churros and the chocolate that goes with it. So I'm going to try them both.
Well, this time we're going to do it properly with a nice sit-down experience right here at this iconic cafe. Wow, this has got to be the thickest, richest looking chocolate that I've ever seen. All right, here we go. Let's have a taste. Woo, this chocolate looks amazing. Oh, wow. These churros, they're just freshly made. They're so crisp and crunchy. And together with the chocolate, this is a very decadent breakfast. Delicious.
So we've decided to have a little bit of a stroll to work off the churros and get ready for a bigger meal. So fun fact about Turia Park, it does a semicircle around the whole city, and it actually used to be a river, but it flooded back in the 1950s, and so the city decided to fill it all in. So today it's this lovely, very long, skinny park around the city, and even today when locals want to meet up in Turia Park, they say, "I'll meet you at the river." So while the locals tend to eat very light first thing in the morning, there is a very exciting meal that happens around mid to late morning. It's kind of like a brunch. So this is a meal that's apparently unique to Valencia, and it's called the esmorzaret. I'm sure I have that all wrong. And that's a meal we're gonna have right now. So we're here to finally have our very traditional Valencian brunch. We've got all of the fixings here. So it starts with a little appetizer. We have some olives and some peanuts, which is typically served with this meal. And then we have our Bocadillos sandwich. So for this one, we decided to go with something that's quite traditional, which is a Spanish omelet. So it's filled with egg and potato, and it looks quite delicious. And they provided a little aioli, a little mayonnaise to go with it as well. And then for a beverage, this is not normally what I would be drinking so early in the morning. So it is vino tinto, red wine, and the way it's taken early in the morning is that you add it in with a little lemon, just like this, and also we will add in some soda. So that sort of waters it down and presumably makes you more prepared to go into the office and back to work. And cheers, that's brunch. Refreshing, a little strong for the morning, but I like it. Wow, this is enormous. Apparently it's actually possible to order either a whole sandwich or a half sandwich, but I have a friend here to share it with me, Gillian, so I have a whole sandwich. Really good. Crusty baguette, tasty filling, a nice light omelet in there. So Jasper has decided to join me for the end of our brunch. So we're having something called a cafe cremette, and it is a delightful little drink to end our brunch. It is coffee with rum. It's burned rum, so the burning apparently takes off most of the alcohol. We'll see. There's also lemon and cinnamon in there, and probably a little bit of sugar. So this is the very traditional close to our brunch. Let's see how it is. Oh, it's just like a dessert with caffeine.
We get a lot of questions about how we manage the different languages in all the countries that we visit. And to be honest, it hasn't really been an issue until we arrived here in Spain. What we discovered here in Valencia is that English isn't widely spoken, so it's been more difficult to navigate our way through menus and understand what's available. So that means we're leaning pretty hard on Google Translate. And we also look up menus online ahead of time to figure out exactly what we're going to be ordering. And that's what we did for this next stop.
So we've had breakfast and we've had brunch, and after taking a break for a couple hours, now it's time for a really big meal. And again, it can be expensive to eat a lot of meals out in Western Europe, but here in Spain, we've discovered that you can get a great deal by coming out at lunchtime to order the menu del dia, the menu of the day. So this is a set menu that provides really great value. And again, since it's Spain and everything happens a little bit later, the lunch is not at noon, it's actually anytime between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. So pretty leisurely. So we've ordered our menu del dia at this little restaurant that's not too far from our place, and it's quickly become one of our favorites. While we're waiting for our food, maybe a small note about the weather. So if you've been following our channel, you know that we came to Spain to chase the sun. We were hoping that it would be very warm and sunny here over the winter months, and it has been mostly sunny, but today was not one of those sunny days, and we're pretty bundled up, as you can tell. So normally it's been a little bit frosty in the morning, and then it heats up over the course of the day. So we're hoping that eventually we can take off our down puffers and enjoy a little bit warmer temperatures. To get things started, I have a first course of croquetas. So these are the very typical deep fried fritters that you'll find on any tapas menu. So it is a staple of Spain. Now the basic one usually includes some parma, some ham of some type, but these ones are supposed to be like a little different and gourmet, and of course they can have any kind of filling. So one of these should be duck and one of them should be tomato, and I guess we'll find out which one is which. Ooh, oh, it's so soft. Wow, looks amazing. So good. Just very lightly fried, just touched by the fryer, and then it has the bechamel inside, and then just like a very faint hint of tomato and basil as a filling, and it's just so delicious, so creamy. I love it. Okay, let's see what this one is all about. So delicious. So it's duck, and then it's got a little bit of a hot sauce to go with it, and it's just creamy and really satisfying.
Well, I thought I ordered a burrata salad, but I don't see any burrata here, so let's have a taste and see what this is. All right, get a little of the sauce on there. I'm seeing some mushrooms, some little croutons, and I'm not sure what the main event is. Let's give it a try. It's a delicious oven roasted eggplant. So delicious. I don't mind having this instead of burrata at all.
So our main dish has arrived, and I'm very excited about this one. As you guys know, we are in Valencia, and one of the main dishes that you can find in Valencia is, of course, paella. This is where paella was invented. So we're having a dish that is related to paella, but instead of being made with rice, it's actually made with noodles. But a lot of the other ingredients are very similar. Wow, that looks amazing. Okay, and it's steaming hot. So this one is made with these small noodles, and we have shrimp. So it is a seafood Fideua. Fideua. I'm still working on my Spanish, but it looks really good. So much like paella, it's made in a special flat pan, and the best bits are the bits that are like a little bit burned, because that makes them extra tasty. It's got a very earthy, seafoody taste. The shrimp is very dominant. and it also has fresh asparagus. So it's a really simple dish, but very savory and tasty. So these little short noodles are not boiled in water the way that pasta is normally made, but instead they're sauteed in a fish and shellfish broth. So it really makes for a very savory mouthful.
Well, we've kept things pretty traditional so far today, but we saw on the menu key lime pie and cheesecake, and we just couldn't resist. So let's go ahead and have a taste. That is a very creamy cheesecake, a nice crust, and a beautiful blueberry filling on top. Now I'm gonna go in for the key lime pie. Okay, looking good. A nice thick, is it whipped cream on top? I'm not that familiar with key lime pie. All right, let's just try it. Very nice light topping with that sour, limey filling, and then a delicious crust. Did you want me to share some with you, Stephanie?
I would take a bite. Either one, it's fine.
That was absolutely delicious, and the price was really quite reasonable. Like we said, dining out when you're traveling doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be mediocre food at tourist restaurants. If you go where the locals go, you'll find the best food and the best deals. Of course, it's never easy to land in a brand new city and have to figure everything out from scratch. What restaurants to go to, where to buy groceries. So if you want to see just how overwhelming it can be, you can check out our very first day here in Valencia by clicking on the video right here.